Okay, I'm back. Want to finish up the Milky Way cup that I started yesterday. I put a good heavy flood coat on it, and for the most part, it's pretty smooth. There's a couple of spots that will need sanding after this, but it's not very much. I do want to hit on all of the products that I used for this cup. There is quite a few. And I'll touch on that while I'm mixing up my epoxy in just a second. Y'all, I wish you could see the sparkle on this cup. It is amazing. It's so beautiful. And like I said yesterday, I'm not a pinky kind of girl by any means. Never have been. But this one is really, really pretty. Okay, the cup I'm using is a 20-ounce skinny. It's from Makerflow. Actually, their name is Makerflow Crafts. They have a Facebook group and a website. I will leave links to both in the description in the drop-down box. If you have a problem with this one, I also left it in the other video that I did in part 1. This is part 2, obviously. And what we're doing today is just putting the Milky Way stripes on it and doing the finishing touches and making it pretty. Because she's already pretty. And the glitter that I used is from Create by Firefly. Melissa has a Facebook group and a website as well. And all of her glitters, guys, are custom mixes. She does them all herself. And she is so, so talented when it comes to the glitter. And her vinyl. I just want to show y'all real quick. I just want to show you a couple of pieces of her vinyl. This is one. She just got in a huge shipment. And most of these are, I don't know if they're called color shift or what. I'm not real swift when it comes to what kind of vinyl it is. This one is also color shift. This one I do know because it's raspberry. It's one of the ones that I ordered. Actually, it's the only one that I ordered out of this last time. And I didn't open the box right away. And when I did, I saw that she had slipped in some other ones to surprise me. And it was a very pleasant surprise. This is one of the opals. And this stuff weaves like a dream. This is another opal. And I call this a rose gold color. I'm not sure if that's the correct name on our website, but that's what I call it. And I think this one is a brushed rose gold, I believe. And this one here is just beautiful. All of the colors that come in that one. And then here's a green one. And I have a lot more back there, y'all. Most of them are in 12 by 12 sheets. But she has some that she sells by the roll also. So all of the glitter that I used is from Create by Firefly. I used Pretty in Pink, New Year's Eve, Chunky Mix, Bashful, which is a fine multi-mix. Blush is this beautiful fine pink that's on here. And it's an ultra fine metallic. Super, super beautiful. And then Pocket Full of Posies. And this one is so pretty. It has a color shift in it. It's a chunky mix. Just gorgeous. And the mica that I used is Jazzberry Red from Amazon. Very pretty. And that was what I used on the base to give me that color. And I'm going to be using I haven't made up my mind what colors I'm going to use yet for the Milky Way part of it, but I have several sitting out here. And I'm just going to put some epoxy in these little cups. It's not going to take much of any of them. I'm going to stop at 5. If I need more, if I decide to put in more than that, I can. But we're going to stop right there. I have a metallic rose gold. It's folk art metallic. I have a metallic light copper, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that one. And I know I'm using the Casting Craft. This is a dye. I have some Pearl X pink gold. I have some others here that are a DIY, just from makeup that I've made. And then I have another one here that's a light pink and it's flakes. So, I know I'm using this white, so let's go ahead. Now, when you're using the Casting Craft, it only takes a drop. It goes a long way. But this is probably going to be the main color that I use for the stripes. So I'm going to have more of it than the others. And this does add sails. It's perfect for when you're doing beach cups and beach scenes. It gives it the wavy look. Oh, let's see. I know I want this one. And now this is Martha Stewart. I get it at Target. When you're using acrylic paint, start with a very, very little bit. You can always add more. If you put in too much, it gets all stringy and goopy. And it's just not pleasant to work with. So just start out with a little. Stir it up really, really well. If you want it darker, you can always add more. But if you put in too much, it's hard to put in more epoxy to smooth it out. Trust me, I know, I've tried. You'll end up using all of your epoxy trying to get it smooth. I might go just a dab. Just a little tiny bit more. And I'm not even going to put any on the stick. I'm just going to stick it down in there and pull it out. Okay, I'm going to go with that because I don't want to get it too thick. And I know I want a pink for sure. Let me see how I'm doing on my white here. When you're mixing up the additives in your epoxy like this, you need to stir it really good. When you think you've got it mixed in, stir it some more. And I didn't even look at the angle of the camera, y'all. I'm so sorry. I might just be talking and y'all can't see nothing. Hang on a second. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Got lucky on that one. I'm going to go with some of these light pink flakes. It's a mica flake. And again, mica goes a long, long way. Probably don't need more than that. I mean, I barely put any in there. Yeah, might need a little bit more. And this is extremely light. And I don't want to keep adding more of it because it's not going to get any darker because it's just a light color anyway. So I'll go with some of my DIY that I made. And y'all, you can get this stuff, go to Dollar Tree or Dollar General, get eyeshadow and crush it up, or you can get like body shimmer from Dollar Tree, and it's already super fine, and it's perfect for mica. Eyeshadow is made from mica powder. A lot of lipstick is made from mica. All of our bath bombs and the pretty soaps and stuff is mica. Okay, that's much prettier. Those flakes just didn't have much color at all in them. But that one looks good. I'm I don't think I'm going to use the rose gold because it's very close to the light copper. Let's see how close it is. Oh yeah, that looks almost the same. It's just one is Martha Stewart and the other one is Folk Art. And they look pretty much identical. So there you go. Metallic light copper from Martha Stewart at Target. Same color as rose gold. And I think I'm going to go with the Pearl X, and it's called Pink Gold. And it has a beautiful shimmer to it. And I'll probably stop there. And if I decide I need another color or something, I can always mix up another one. Mica powders are so pretty. Creamy. Look how beautiful that is. You can see the gold in it. Okay. And again, I could have mixed up some of this, the jazzberry, but since I used it on the base, I'm afraid it might just blend in too much. But you know what? Let's mix up some anyway, and just in case. I have one here that has just a little bit of epoxy in it. I'll use it. Because this one's pretty deep. It's a dark color. My friend from Virginia had a business, and she made bath bombs and all that pretty stuff, and she sent me just tons and tons of mica powder. I was in shock when I opened the box, and they are so beautiful. I have played with mica every day since. So see, this is a little dark, but it might not hurt to put a few strands of that color in there. We got it. Okay, let me get a piece of paper to put up under here. Just use a sheet of cardstock. Get my glove. Well, I really don't need a glove. I'm not going to be handling it, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to start with the white, because like I said, that's going to be the one I use the most. And all I'm going to do is just start stringing it on. I don't want it real heavy anywhere. And there's There's no set pattern of the way you need to put this on. However you want to do it, it's fine. Because it's all going to swirl a little bit anyway. You don't want it to swirl too much, but some. And all I'm doing is using my popsicle stick and just putting some strings on here. No need to chase your cup. It will come back around. I do it every time. I'm like, oh, and it... Okay, that's silly. Just wait for it. Milky Ways are good to use if you have a cup that you feel like was a fail. You can easily turn it into a Milky Way and not have to strip your cup. There's nothing we do that can't be fixed with these cups in some way. Now, if you have an order from a customer and they want something specific, well, yeah, then, you know. But go ahead and make you a Milky Way cup or something out of it. Put it on your site. Okay, and don't forget to do your bottom as well, and your bottom edge. Now on the bottom, you don't want to get too much because it will end up swirling together. So I start out with a little because I can always add more. Okay. Now I'll be going back to the white again. Now let's put some of this rose gold color, copper actually. This is a very pale. I didn't want to put too much in here. It actually looks really good on the cup. I was a little concerned since it was so pink how this color would work, but I like it. And it doesn't have to be like, you know, complete lines. If you put some up here and you don't get very much in the middle, it's fine. You can always add it wherever you think you need it. And this is a very, very easy cup to do, especially for it to be so beautiful. And I'm probably going to hit it with a little bit of heat with my torch. I don't want to get it so hot that it just starts flowing off of the cup. But I do want it to move a little bit. Oh, I like that color, y'all. That's really pretty. And if you have a spot where you got any of your stripes too heavy, just use your stick and kind of drag through it, and it'll thin out that way. Now I do mine from the side. I turn it sideways. Whatever is more comfortable for you. It doesn't make any difference really. Okay. Now I'll add some of this purple color. Again, this one is just Dollar Tree eyeshadow. I do have a video in my group showing how to make mica powder from eyeshadow. But it's pretty old. It was one of the very first ones I did. I need to redo it, because you could tell I was pretty nervous. And this color here, again, it's a very light purple, a pale purple. You can barely see it on the cup, but it's just enough to see, if that made sense. It's not an overpowering, however you say that. It doesn't take over the cup. Just enough that you can see it. Alright, I'm going to hit it with my torch real quick. And again, for the ones that's just starting out doing cups, when you use a torch or any heat source, you want to keep it moving, because you can burn your epoxy really easy. It will start smoking and it can catch on fire. I have seen people actually catch it on fire on YouTube. So please be careful, but as long as you keep it moving and don't hold it in one spot, you're probably good. Now this should show up real well. This is the Pearl X. I personally like Pearl X. I think it's a good mica powder on a budget. If you can't afford the real expensive, or you're just starting out, you know, messing with mica powders, it's perfect. Get something that's inexpensive that you can practice with. But for me, I think it works great. And they do have some really pretty colors too. And you get a big bottle. What size is this? It's 0.75 ounces, so it's almost an ounce. And I think it's like around $7, which is pretty reasonable. And like I said, they do have pretty colors. You want to make sure you take it all the way up to the top when you're doing these, because a lot of times we'll stop short of the top and the bottom as well. So you want to make sure that you get your color all the way to the top. Yep, that gold's really pretty in here. And you can see it's starting to swirl a little bit in spots. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of this on the bottom, and then I'm going to go to the darker pink, the Jazzberry that my friend gave me. Bless her heart. And she wants me to make her a bowl with mica powder and epoxy. So I told her I would. Somebody give you that much mica powder? Heck yeah. You can make them a bowl. I know I can. And this color should set it off because it is the darker color. And I'll go back and add a little bit more white too. And I just keep going through the colors with my popsicle stick, just kind of thinning them out. I don't, like I said, I don't want them real heavy for any of them. And I don't want to put a whole lot of this dark color on here. Stand back and look at it when you're doing it. And then you can see where you need color. Alright, now I'm going to hit it with my heat again. Pop some bubbles. And get it to move just a little bit. But I still want to go back and put more white, because the white is what makes a Milky Way, hence the name Milky Way. And I don't want to get it moving too much, so that's why I'm just hitting it in spots where I see a bubble. Okay. I'm just going to kind of spread it out a little bit where it's a little heavier in spots. Okay, put some of my white on here. And y'all, I'm using the same stick. It doesn't matter because all of the colors are going to be kind of run together anyway on your cup, so it doesn't hurt anything if you get a little pink in with your white. I'm just straightening out my lines some, making sure they go all the way to the top and the bottom, and I don't have a bunch of mica in a big clump. I think this is beautiful. Okay, now I'm just going to watch it. I don't want to completely cover my cup with mica because I want to be able to see this beautiful glitter that's underneath it as well. So you don't want to overdo it. And that's probably the hardest part of one of these cups, is figuring out when to stop and when it actually could use more. Once I get this white on, I'm going to heat it up enough that it does start to move a little bit now. It looks pretty much like it's got good color on it, just like it is. And of course, you know, we are not one that ever learned a lesson that sometimes less is more. We learned what it means. It's just hard for us to do it. Or at least I know it is for me. Alright, put a little bit right in there. I'm getting a few bubbles coming up to the top, which is good. I can pop them. I'm going to heat it up. Okay, I think that's probably enough. So let's see if I can get some movement. Actually, y'all, I think I'm going to use the heat gun a little bit. Because like I said, I do want it to move a little, but as soon as I see it start to move in one spot, I will stop and not hit that again. Because I don't want it to completely wrap around the cup. Okay, you can see that it's starting to move when it gets those little wavy look to it. And so that's when it's time to stop. As soon as you see it start to do that, you want to stop. You don't want to get too much heat on it. And now you can let this turn for 5 or 10 minutes and come back and hit it again with your torch to pop bubbles. Or if you see any big ones while you're standing here, go ahead and hit it with your stick because you don't want to overheat it. I can't stress that part enough. Because then it'll turn into a swirl. It won't be a Milky Way. Probably could have put a little bit more white in a couple of spots. And if you get it where it starts to run too much like that, just run your stick through it a few times and, you know, just kind of drag it around. You can do some little ziggies. Alright, now I'll just let that kind of do its own thing and level itself out. And I think with swirling the stick in it probably added enough to give it the Milky Way look. Or I think so. But to me, this is just beautiful. I see some little bubbles, that's all I'm doing now. kind of straighten that out just a little bit right there. Get a little separation. I kind of like that little swirl there. And now what I'll do is just let this dry, because it does have quite a lot of epoxy on it. And now you can also, I put my mica right on a dry cup. That doesn't bother me because I know I can add enough heat to it to get it to move some. If you would rather have it move more, you can, by all means, put a coat of clear on the cup before you start doing your stripes. It's up to you, whatever you think, what you would like. But I don't like to put too much that it runs too much. So a lot of times I choose not to do that step. And you're putting a lot of mica and epoxy on it as it is doing this. And you don't want to get so much that when you're holding your cup, you can feel the waves in it. And that's from too much epoxy. Yeah, see that right there looks really nice, except for that bubble. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all there is to a Milky Way cup. They're very easy. They're beautiful. They hide a lot of stuff. Like I said, when I say hide, I mean if you have a cup that you feel like was not your best work, you can use it and turn it into a Milky Way. I got this ice tray. It says Room Essential, so I'm guessing that's Walmart. I forgot. But I'm going to use it to make resin art, and I'm going to see how it looks to do a pendant necklace. And I have this extra mica, so why not, right? And it's silicone, so it's going to pop right out. And if you did it really thin, you could even use this to make earrings, a matching set, necklace and earrings. I don't think I'd want to fill it up. You wouldn't be able to walk or hold your head up straight. And I'm just going to kind of mix some colors together in there, just to use up what I got left. Yeah, see how it's starting to swirl just a little bit. And that's what you want. Okay, I put the rose gold and the bright pink mica in here. And just give it a little swirl around. And when you're doing molds, don't put your torch on it. What'll happen is you will scorch the mold and your epoxy will stick there. When you go to take it out, it will be stuck so bad that you will actually rip your mold. This one's getting too set up to use that one. So let's just use these other ones here and finish it up. And I'll let this turn and I'll get some pictures and add to the video for y'all so you can see what it looks like finished once it dries. Now you can, once this dries and sets up, you can go ahead at this point and put your vinyl or lettering, whatever, on it. And then just put it on your final coat of epoxy. I don't know, if you use a water slide, it's hard to sand it and then put your water slide on, because you won't get it shiny underneath the water slide, so you need to be careful with that. If you have a cup that needs sanding, just go ahead and bite the bullet, sand it, and put a thin coat of epoxy before you add any water slides to it, because the epoxy won't get up under the water slide to make it shiny, and then you'll have a dull image. All right, let me put in this one and it'll be done. This is a really pretty color, and this is the one that is the makeup from Dollar Tree. You can get good ones from Dollar General too, y'all. They have some pretty makeup, and it's cheap enough that you can afford to make mica out of it. But if you ever go in Dollar Tree, look at their eyeshadow, and if you see any that's in a small, round, pretty flat container, and it says, oh, what does it say? Let me look. What does it say? I think it's Body Shimmer is what it's called. Yes, Body Shimmer. Get you some of those colors. They are beautiful. They're already super fine. So all you have to do is open it and you have your mica. Okay, I'm going to spray this with alcohol. That's how I get the bubbles out of my molds. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Come in with a spray bottle and just give it a couple of little squirts. It will pop the bubbles on contact. You don't want to, just sit there and overdo it. And the same with the cup. Give it about 5 or 10 minutes. Come back, spray it again. Hit your cup with some more heat, and then you're done. So I hope this helps somebody. Maybe gave you a tip that you didn't know about. And like I said, I'll take pictures for y'all and post those. And there's some of these areas getting really, really beautiful on here. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all very much.